Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a really interesting look inside Microsoft.
Yeah. What do we got?
We've got some internal memos. They're penned by Jay Parikh. Now, you might know that name.
Former Meta guy, right? Head of engineering there.
That's the one, global head of engineering. He joined Microsoft back in October.
Ah, okay. That was after his cloud security startup, Laceworks, got acquired.
Exactly. And now he's leading this brand new AI unit they've set up called CoreAI. Reports straight to Satya Nadella.
Wow, okay. Straight to the top. That sounds like a pretty major move for Microsoft.
It really feels like it. Nadella bringing in someone with that kind of background, maybe to sort of shake things up in AI.
Yeah, that fits a pattern, doesn't it? We've seen Microsoft under Nadella do that before, bring in serious external talent, get some fresh eyes on things.
Especially with AI moving so incredibly fast.
Absolutely. That outside perspective, it can be, well, invaluable, really.
Mm.
Challenging the way things are done.
Yeah, Nadella's actually talked about needing to add exceptional talent for this next phase.
Exactly.
And that's basically our mission for this deep dive. We want to unpack Parikh's vision, from these early memos.
What's he planning? What are the strategies?
Exactly. How's he trying to change Microsoft's approach, not just to AI, but maybe development overall? And what this all means for these things they're calling AI agents.
Okay, AI agents. That term itself is interesting. What do we think that actually means in the Microsoft context?
Good question. Are they like assistants or more complex automation tools or something else?
The memos don't give one perfect definition, but the feeling you get is it's about embedding AI much more deeply, everywhere.
Right. Giving users more sort of intelligent, maybe autonomous capabilities.
Yeah, moving beyond just, basic chatbots, AI that can actually help with complex stuff proactively.
And just to give you a sense of the scale here, this Core AI thing, it's not some small side project.
No.
No, it was formed back in January through a pretty big reorganization, pulled together key teams under Parikh.
Which teams are we talking about?
Let's see. Execs from their AI platform, AI infrastructure, the whole developer division, dev infrastructure too.
Wow. So a lot of key areas.
Yeah. His organization now, apparently close to 10,000 people.
10,000. Okay. That's serious commitment.
It really is. It shows Microsoft is putting, a major bet on this guy's vision, giving him the resources, the organizational muscle to actually make changes.
You don't rejig things on that scale lightly, that's for sure.
Okay, so let's get into some of the ideas in these memos. One thing that just jumped out at me was this ambition he has to build an agent factory.
An agent factory. Okay.
Yeah, it's a bold name, right? And he actually draws a parallel himself to Bill Gates and Paul Allen and their early idea of a software factory.
Huh. That's quite a statement, drawing that line back to the very beginning.
It makes you think, doesn't it? The level of ambition.
Well, yeah. The implication there. If the software factory was about industrializing software creation back then,
Right. Streamlining it.
then the agent factory implies doing the same for AI agents now, moving maybe from handcrafted AI models to something more scalable. Efficient.
A production line for AI features almost.
Could be. Something that makes deploying AI across all of Microsoft's stuff easier, more standard, hints at making it more accessible to create AI features.
And he digs into this in one memo from April 14th. He says something like, building our vision demands this type of culture, one where AI is embedded in how we think, design, and deliver.
Okay, so embedding it right from the start.
Yeah. And he says the agent factory isn't just about what they build, but how they build it together. Empowering, he says, every developer, and maybe even everyone, to shape the future with these agents.
That's key. So it's not just Microsoft making AI stuff for people.
Seems not.
It's about giving their own developers the tools, the environment to build AI things themselves.
Yeah.
Within the Microsoft world.
Like democratizing AI building internally.
Yeah, something like that. Providing the platform.
Okay, now these memos also give some hints about, actual results. Early days, but still.
Like what?
Well, Foundry, that's their AI platform for developers. Apparently it's had, get this, $337 million favorable CUDGS impact just this year so far.
Wow. COGS, cost of goods sold. So basically, they're saving money running the platform.
Seems like it. And it's projected to be like $606 million annualized. Those are big numbers.
That is substantial. It suggests that his focus on, optimizing the underlying tech, it's already paying off.
Yeah.
Making their AI engine cheaper to run.
It's a pretty concrete early win,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Yeah.
And beyond the money, what does that say about demand for these internal AI platforms? Is this something other big companies might copy?
That's interesting. It definitely shows a big internal appetite at Microsoft anyway. We also see stuff on the customer side, GitHub Copilot business.
Ah, the AI coding assistant?
Yeah, that one. It's, what, $19 a user per month? They've landed a really big deal with Fidelity. Oh, Fidelity Investments.
Yeah, over 5,000 seats deployed already, and they expect another 5,000.
Okay, so potentially 10,000 users at Fidelity. That's,
Yeah.
well, do the math. That's potentially over $2 million a year.
Roughly, yeah. $2.28 million annually if they hit the full 10K at list price. It feels like a really strong endorsement.
For AI in the developer world, absolutely. Getting that kind of adoption in a major financial institution like Fidelity,
Oh.
it shows these tools aren't just toys anymore.
They're being baked into how big companies work.
Right, into core operations. It adds real business value, boosting productivity.
And it's not just developer tools either. There's a mention of Harvey AI, a startup.
Harvey. They do AI for legal and professional services, right?
I think so, yeah. They've made a big commitment. 2 years, $150 million just to use Azure cloud services.
Whoa, $150 million from an AI startup.
Yeah, seems like a massive vote of confidence in Azure for running serious AI workloads. It really is.
Yeah.
For a company like Harvey, that's on the cutting edge to commit that kind of money. It says a lot about Azure's capability and, reliability for this heavy-duty AI stuff.
Definitely. Okay, so moving on from those early wins, a lot of what Parikh writes about is actually about changing how Microsoft works. The culture, the operations.
Ah, the softer stuff, which is often the harder stuff.
Totally. In a May 10th memo, he flat out says that shifting the culture is essential for Microsoft's future. Essential.
It's a strong word.
Yeah.
But it makes sense, doesn't it? You can have all the amazing AI tech in the world.
But if the organization isn't set up to actually use it properly.
Exactly. If people don't collaborate, if they're stuck in old ways of thinking, you won't get the full benefit. So that cultural evolution, it's fundamental.
He actually lists 3 main priorities for improving the culture.
Okay, what are they?
1, speed things up, accelerate the pace of work. 2, break down silos, get teams working together better. And 3, improve product reliability and security.
Okay, those sound maybe a bit like standard corporate goals. Faster, better teamwork, more reliable products.
They do, but the context here is key, I think. He's hammering these points home because of the AI push. It's like, these are the things that have to change for the AI vision to succeed.
Right. How tough is that, realistically? Changing the culture at a behemoth like Microsoft, there must be huge challenges, right? Maybe historical hurdles.
Oh, I imagine it's incredibly difficult. You've got inertia, decades of doing things a certain way.
Bureaucracy, silos.
Yeah, but I guess by linking it to this exciting new AI thing, this agent factory, he's trying to give people a strong reason why they need to change, make it compelling.
A rallying cry, almost.
Maybe, and he gets quite specific about problems. In another memo, May 5th, he says Microsoft sometimes treats symptoms rather than systems.
Ah, the classic trap.
Yeah. Focusing too much on the small stuff, the micro level, leading to Band-Aids and bolt-ons, as he puts it, instead of looking at the bigger picture.
That'll resonate with anyone who's worked in a big company, I bet.
Yeah.
The pressure for quick fixes often means you don't tackle the real underlying issue.
Creates technical debt, slows things down long term.
Exactly. So he's pushing for a more strategic way of solving problems. Holistic.
Yeah. And his solution, or part of it, is this idea of a learning loop.
Learning loop.
Basically doing debriefs regularly, after product launches, after incidents, even after meetings and decisions.
Okay, so trying to build in continuous learning.
Right, fostering that culture. But, continuous learning sounds great.
Yeah.
How do you stop those debriefs just becoming box-ticking exercises?
That is the challenge. You need psychological safety, right?
Yeah.
People have to feel okay saying what really went wrong.
Out fear of blame.
And then, crucially, you need a way to turn those lessons into actual changes, actionable insights. His idea of doing it even after meetings, maybe that makes it feel less like a formal audit, more like just how work gets done.
Perhaps. He's also started these things called ops review sessions.
Ops review?
Yeah, like operational reviews, going team by team, digging into common engineering pain points, trying to improve the longer-term metrics. They kicked off in April with the app services team.
Okay, so that sounds like a very direct way to address that treating symptoms problem.
Exactly. Taking a step back, looking at the whole team setup end to end.
To find those recurring issues and fix them properly, not just patching things up each time, makes sense.
There's also a big push on customer focus. More emphasis there.
How so?
Well, his org now has mandatory reviews for any major incident that affects customers. They track how fast problems get spotted and fixed.
Accountability.
And they've even got these get well plans for customers who are unhappy.
Get well plans, like for sick customers.
Sort of. Weekly reviews to really understand the customer's problem, figure out solutions, and track progress until the customer's happy again.
That feels especially vital for AI agents, doesn't it? Trust is going to be everything.
Absolutely critical. If users are going to rely on these things for complex tasks, they have to trust them. So focusing on fixing issues fast and keeping customers happy, yeah, that builds the foundation.
It really does. It's all connected.
And finally, the memos call out some specific areas inside Microsoft that Parikh thinks need to change.
Okay, like what?
He wants engineers to actively get perspectives from outside their own teams, which ties back to breaking down those silos, right?
Yeah, getting different viewpoints in. That's crucial for innovation, avoiding blind spots, especially with complex AI that touches everything.
He also flags the difficulty, the slowness of getting rid of old software versions, deprecating stuff.
Ah, the legacy system headache. Every big tech company has that.
He mentions they're talking to the C+ AI division to try and streamline it. But yes, supporting old stuff just drains resources, doesn't it?
It's a constant battle.
Yeah.
You want to support existing users, but you also need to free up engineers to work on the future. Focusing on retiring older software makes strategic sense if you want to pour energy into AI.
Another thing. Incident reviews. He says they're often overloaded. Too many metrics that aren't that useful, way too many alerts.
Alert fatigue. It's a real problem.
So he's pushing for simplification and, interestingly, using AI itself to triage alerts more intelligently.
Using AI to manage the complexity of AI systems. Makes sense. Filter the noise so humans can focus on the real problems.
Yeah. He also wants teams to see the forest for the trees on scalability.
Meaning?
Like, think bigger picture. Brainstorm ways to get huge jumps in handling traffic, not just small, incremental improvement.
So planning for massive scale from the get-go.
Yeah.
Anticipating future demand for these agents. Radical scalability thinking.
Exactly. And one last point, really tying it all together. Address classes of problems with broader system fixes, not just quick patches.
Back to systems, not symptoms.
Right. He says they need to be building muscle and spotting patterns, not just patching symptoms.
That's a great way to put it. Find the root cause, fix it across the board. That leads to a much more stable, resilient platform in the long run, which you definitely need for ambitious AI plans.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. As we finish this deep dive into, Jay Parikh's early moves at Microsoft, we've seen this really ambitious vision, right? This agent factory.
Yeah, aiming to change how software and now AI actually gets built.
We've seen some positive signs early on, the financial impact with Foundry, those big customer wins like Fidelity and Harvey AI.
Concrete progress.
But maybe the most revealing part is just how much focus there is on changing the internals of Microsoft, the culture, the operations, getting the foundations right.
It's hugely significant, I think. It shows they understand that just having cool tech isn't enough. You need the right organization, the right mindset to make it work at scale.
It's a signal of a really fundamental shift in how they're approaching development and innovation, all aimed at making this AI agent future happen and empowering lots of people to build it.
It really is a fascinating glimpse inside a tech giant, trying to navigate this massive AI wave, a big evolution underway.
Definitely. And maybe a final thought for you listening. Think about those principles Parikh is pushing for. Systemic thinking, really focusing on the customer, that commitment to always be learning. How might those ideas apply to your own work? Or maybe areas you're just interested in, especially now with tech changing so fast?
Yeah, it's a good prompt. What symptoms might you be busy patching up?
Right. When maybe it's time to step back, look a bit deeper, and figure out the underlying system.